stop moving the goalposts. A lot of us live lives where we constantly are progressing, improving our lives, but along with that, our expectations go up. This is a big concept within the psychology of money. This is probably my favorite self-help book because there's so many concepts in here that are just so simple and prevalent, but we just ignore them and just go on because we think it's part of everyday life, but realistically we can control it. So what does that have to do with moving goalposts? So essentially, the equation for happiness, as Morgan Housel explains it, is just reality minus expectations, or results minus expectations. So if you lower your expectations of the future, then you should just be happier, because by default, no matter if your result isn't as amazing, your expectations are lower, so your results exceed your expectations and therefore you're happy. Because I've had it where I go and play golf and I have this expectation in my head of a score I want to hit today, and I don't hit, and it's just, I feel like an absolute failure. Which is sad because it's just a sport, but it is how we think about things like that. And so part one of it is making sure your expectations aren't too unrealistic. Obviously you don't want them to be too low, because then you'll just be happy and settle with whatever, but you need to set them and then try not to change them, because we all know the classic keeping up with the Joneses theory, where your next door neighbour gets a new car, you start looking at your car and thinking, should I get a new car? And you didn't need to, you weren't going to before they got theirs, but because your social expectations have risen, because the people around you have changed their lifestyle, you think that you've got to upgrade yours, and it's a big pitfall for all of us. And I think I've been good recently at like not falling victim to that, so only pretty much caring about what I want and not letting external forces cause me to make decisions that I wouldn't make off my own back. Sometimes it can be hard to do because you don't even realize it's happening, but if you're making, this is more financial, but if you're making financial decisions, try and look back and think, do you really need to be making this extra expenditure, spending this extra money, upgrading your house, your car, blah blah blah, or are you just doing it to fit a social narrative that you've got to always be improving? Because he also says in the book that the key factor to happiness is just being able to control your own time. I guess that fits in with this, because if you have more money and you're not so money devoted, you have more control over your own time because you don't need to be going out there getting money. I think living within your means is something that not a lot of people do, and obviously you can always strive to push your results up as much as possible, but it's not going to matter if you're constantly increasing your expectations every time your results increase, because it just ends up in that never-ending spiral where you never get what you want. You're never happy. It's like people say with rich people that first of all they wanted to earn 1 million, then it goes to 10 million, then they get to 10 million, then they want to go to 100 million. They're just never happy because they're just constantly looking for more. And sometimes you just have to realize you've got it good and you can be happy in this moment with what you've got. You don't need more, and just know when enough is enough. It's a very hard concept to put into action, because obviously there's always the nicer house, nicer car, nicer clothes, whatever it is that you are trying to get. But at the end of the day, as long as you're happy with what you've got, then that's all that matters. Because I think at the end of the day, happiness is a lot more important than your actual results. and how your life is lived. So if you're happy with your life, like they say, some homeless people are a lot more happier than people in mansions, just because of their real life compared to their expectations. It's weighted this side, whereas rich people really just want more, and it just causes them that never-ending cycle where they never get to the happy stage. So it's something to think about. Are you always reaching to go further? If you are, try and cut back on setting those high expectations and see where it takes you, because I believe you'll be a lot happier. If I was able to go out to golf and always say that I want to hit this like rubbish milestone, then I'll probably be happier, but I can't filter it into golf just yet. But in my financial life, I think I've managed to do that well enough, and that's the whole concept here. Leave a like, comment your thoughts. Are you a person who always is striving too much? And if you are and are struggling with it, let me know why you can't cut back on the expectation side of things. It would be interesting to know. Subscribe, it would be really appreciated, and yeah, just let me know what you think of these videos, because they're new. I'm trying to improve on the fly, and I really appreciate any feedback. But thank you for watching. Take care.